Welcome to Sasha and Goff live recorded. I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff.
And we are back for another episode. On this week's episode, we will be talking about our top 3 bands / artists that we cannot stand.
Yep.
Now, this is an interesting one. We like our music. We have closed-minded people here. There's 2 of us. I'm a little bit more open-minded than you, I believe.
I think so, yeah, I'd say
okay.
so.
I have a lot of notes for my potent notables. Did you have a difficult time coming up with this list?
I did look just for reference at a bit, but it's so hard for me because I feel bad saying I hate this band because even the bands that I listed, I can find a song or 2 that it's like, well, I still kind of like that one. So I don't have any potent notables because, I think it was hard enough for me to just pick 3. I could tell you a bunch of bands I don't like, but yeah.
I had the same issue as you. I was actually talking to my dear Italian friend this weekend, and we were talking about 90s music and how we're old.
Was it Robert Deniro?
It was.
Nice.
I don't like to name drop.
How's he doing?
He's about to die.
So, okay.
It's not good. It's not looking good.
You heard it here first.
Spread the word.
Don't, though. Please don't.
Don't spread the word. He's a good man.
Alive and well.
He's a good man. Anyway, so I was talking to him, and we were talking about, so he went to some concerts that are not like the music that he regularly listens to.
Okay.
And they were like pop artists, and he was like, you know what? Seeing them, you're like, well, they're talented, right? It's not my cup of tea, but at least they are talented. And I kind of feel the same way now. I did not feel that way when I was like 20. If I was 20 and I didn't like your band, I was like, you suck. Your family sucks.
Throwing garbage at them.
Yeah,
things like that.
You're the worst. Yeah. I call you bad names. Like, and you get a little older and you're like, well, they're all people. Mm-hmm. Like I think.
Well, and they're still because you're the only person there that's not enjoying it. Clearly, it's you. So it's like,
and there's so many people who do enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like I don't enjoy. Like I think I talked a couple weeks ago when I was watching Breathe Carolina. I think it was at Warped Tour, who's like a big like techno band, and it's like maybe not techno, whatever that is. That music,
right.
But I wasn't.
That was really good.
I wasn't particularly enjoying it, but watching the crowd was just like, okay, this is like it makes it better at least.
Yeah, and by the way, people are talented. Like just because you don't like it, like my list here, I had a difficult time coming up with the list because every single artist, I feel like I can find something that I like about them, right? So I dug deep, and by dug deep, I don't mean I have obscure bands. I have like very well known.
Well, you're well prepared, so that's good.
But they're bands that I made sure that I was like, I do not like one song from these bands. Like, I can't stand them. I don't like them. They're very talented. They're great at what they do. Congratulations. But I just don't like you. I never got into you. You were never my thing.
Yeah.
And so it took a little while. And then a lot of my potent notables are like, but I like this one song, or like this album was good of this person. So that's why I didn't put them in my top 3. Because I could find something like that.
I feel like we should just do our top 3 now.
I feel like the show's over.
No,
we will
get to that.
Rolling Stones. Huh?
And Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, we got them.
The ones that are going to piss everyone off.
We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Anyway, what's going on? I see some new pictures up here.
We got some new pictures for the advertisement wall. We're very excited. We took, it was either a week or 2 off. I think it was just last week, actually. We had to take down the 1988 Tops podcast, correct? From our friend Useless Dave. This week we have 2, actually. If you look up top, to your left, if you're watching this, it is Spaghetti Lee. It is like a macaroni and cheese type looking concoction that is molded into lead singer of Rush, my dad's favorite band, Geddy Lee. So Mike paid us $1 for that one. So Mike,
love it.
You get to stay. We're gonna let you stay today. Okay, we're gonna let you stay for this episode because right next to you is our dear friend Shug, who sent in a picture of himself, and I love this because when I showed it to my wife, she's just like, this is so great because it reminds me of one of the Portillos. It is a black and white picture of him, and I'm guessing his name is Chris, either that or that's the name of the company he works for. But yeah, Shug paid us $3. He wrote on there, to Sasha and Goff, great show, love Shug. So he gets to stay beyond this week until he is bumped.
So he paid more than Mike, is what you're saying?
Yes, he paid $3. Mike paid $1. All that matters, though, is that we have 4 American crisp dollars here that we are putting into our little
I ended up taking money from the money jar this week.
Yeah,
I
it's
apologize.
lighter, I can tell.
I needed cash. I was in a jam, and
you gotta call. Was it JG Wentworth?
I did.
Yeah,
and
he's like, no.
He was like, you need 10 single dollar bills, and so this is the only place that I could find 10 American single dollar bills. Canadian, all over the place.
Yeah.
But I was going to a Apple Fest.
What is Serbian money called?
Dinars. They have some around here. They also use euros and marks, German marks.
Nice.
But anyway, so I needed money to get into the Apple Fair the Apple Fest, so that I wouldn't go to the ATM to get money. So I was like, yeah, there's $10 here. I put it back. I put the money back.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But
it is definitely lighter, though, because I see you replaced it with an actual $10 bill.
Yeah.
So one replaced 10.
Yeah. I do want to say this. Love this picture. Absolutely love it. And I kind of think that if anybody sends us an autographed 8x10 of themselves, we should just keep it.
We can, honestly, we'll put them around here.
Yeah.
If you're, we'll consider you part of the show.
But you have to have a picture of yourself.
And we want it to be. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be black and white, but the best thing about this though is that Shug actually printed it out for me and just left it with the money.
Yeah,
it was great.
And I mean, to Sasa and Goff, great show. He spelled Sasa right. He spelled Goff right.
He did. He did text me and say he wanted to purposely spell them both wrong. Spell mine Byron.
Yeah, put two H's in each one of them.
Put a big H in the middle. But anyway,
love it.
Mike and Shug, thank you guys so much for helping out and pushing things forward with the show. We got an email too, actually. Early I think this is the first email we've gotten.
Breaking barriers over here.
And the best thing about this is because it is from my cousin Tim. Tim, thank you so much for writing. I don't even know if he listens to the show, but on Instagram this week, I made a reel, and it was from last week. It was you talking about how do I get out of jury duty. So I tried making it almost like one of those, like, I wish I could have had the thing flashing on there. It's like, call this number. But basically, I just wrote, it's like, help get Sasha out of jury duty. Email sasaandgoff@gmail.com. So this morning, very early at like 1 a.m., I had just a simple email from my cousin that just said, I was only summoned for jury duty once. Just ignored it, and nothing ever happened. Hope that helps.
Until you get pulled over next time, yeah.
So, that's Tim's advice, how to get out of jury duty. Just don't go.
So this came to our email, is what
This came to our email, and that's the most important thing, because last week we were talking about jury duty and then also the show jury duty, so I thought maybe someone was
the movie jury duty.
So I thought maybe someone was like writing about that. I was like, but it was like, oh no, this is actually an email in response to something where I told people to email. So I'm very happy.
It's funny because if this is the case, if he was not listening to it and he just saw the thing on Instagram, he chose to leave Instagram to write an email. That's great.
Damn right.
That's great.
Yeah. Could have just commented right there, but no, he
Tim.
did as told. And then one more thing as far as social media goes. This is from a couple weeks ago. A couple episodes ago, and it was top three things that suck about the Midwest. Going back to Shug, he sent in his 3 on YouTube. Number 3, insane changes in the weather from one day to the next.
Yeah.
Number 2, soul-crushing sports teams. Again, more of a Chicago thing. And then number 1, like you kind of talked about, the construction / traffic.
Yeah, the more I thought about it, the angrier I was with your sports teams as number 1, because it was like straight up Chicago related.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait, but I feel like other places probably also have the same feeling. Because you're like, my team sucks, like everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, like there's nothing in Chicago. And the Sox officially broke the record.
Yeah.
So
I was going to call you out as a poor answer and demand a new top 3. But then I cooled down.
Yeah.
I cooled down. You can't tell. I'm sweating over here. I don't know if you can tell.
They can tell. Okay.
I feel
can
fat.
Smell you.
Yeah. Well, I ran 45 minutes before we started this. That's a lie. It was 30 minutes. And then a 5-minute cool down walk, which did not cool me down. Then I took a hot shower, which is a mistake. Should have taken a cool shower. Then I drank a cup of coffee. And then here we are. I'm
Is this your first day on Earth? Or trying this workout thing? Because everything you did is why you're sweating right now.
No, I know, but
Okay.
that's good because I got weight to lose, my friend.
Perfect.
I'm about 30 pounds heavier than where I'd like to be.
I'm getting a little bit of a gut. I've been eating a lot of junk food. I ate almost 2 full coffee cakes this weekend. And you know what? No, the girls helped me out a little bit, but I'll say I had like 2/3.
Coffee cake?
Love it.
Come on.
Yes,
the
right?
best.
Okay, all right.
It's the best.
What's your favorite kind?
Coffee.
Like, I mean, literally just coffee poured into a
cake.
and then we just put it in the oven.
No, like cinnamony. I don't know what it is. That
You're like I'm see, mine is just like the cheese Danish.
cheese Danish,
Okay.
solid.
But yeah, like so we love the fruit ones.
Raspberry.
Like that. You know,
Give me
I'm
a
fruity. But yeah, raspberry, blueberry, strawberry. We'll take
I
them
think
all.
we need to do a bracket style tournament for the fruit situation.
Okay.
64 fruits.
Is there honestly? Are there 64 fruits? I mean, you could probably pull some
2 in
veggies
this room
over.
right now.
Nice. Okay,
All
so me and you will be. I'll take
Number
the
one
Northwest
seeds,
region.
yeah.
Well
I don't
played.
know, but I do think that there's some interesting stuff to talk about when it comes to fruits. That's all I'm
Okay,
saying.
I can't wait.
Maybe that's for a different podcast. Maybe that's for a podcast that I'm
No,
gonna have
absolutely
to start.
not. That is for this podcast.
Okay, all right.
And then you know what? I just wanted to add one more thing. Speaking of going back an episode or two, last week we talked about the top 3 things that annoy us. I forgot one. I did mention for a second that I am like a grammar police guy.
And you said it incorrectly while you were.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I said grammar.
Unless you said
I said grammar.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that's right.
Or grandma police or something.
But anyway, overuse / misuse of apostrophes. People who every word that's plural that has it. Like, and you're seeing it a lot now, or I'm seeing it a lot now with homecoming. All over cards, it's like, let's go Eagles, and Eagles has an apostrophe, you know, it's like, because I think a lot of people now have been shamed so many times for not using them that they use them for everything.
I'm
It's
not
like,
gonna
let's
lie.
go Wildcats.
I don't know when
Apostrophe.
to use apostrophe.
Oh my God, it's got to be possessive.
I
Or
know-
a split word, like
Yeah,
you are.
You have to teach me this because
One of
I
the-
should know this.
One of the toughest one is it's. Because there's it is.
Yeah.
That's when you split it, but using it's like possessive, like I'm like, oh, that bird caught its prey. That is not.
That is
Which is
ITS.
confusing, yes, because it is still possessive,
Okay.
but I think it's not a proper word.
I feel like I've already learned more than I knew, which is good.
That's what I'm here to do.
There's a bunch of times where I've wanted to use IT apostrophe S or any word apostrophe S, and I look at it and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's definitely it. It is, right?
Yeah.
This it is always works. And then I find out that I was wrong, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm wrong. I feel like I'm right. So it's possessive.
Possessive, and like I said, if it's 2 words, you are, you will, you'll, your, so you're going to need the apostrophe. Now, if it's like, hey, I'm coming to your house, that doesn't have one because that's just Y-O-U-R.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not complete idiot.
You know what? Let's stop talking about apostrophes right now. I feel like this has already gone on too far.
I'm still learning.
You actually put apostrophes on your notes
It's just apostrophes.
and still learning.
Yeah. I actually have 35 minutes of apostrophe talk.
All right, well, let's talk about its origin.
Well, first and foremost, Riot Fest. Where does the apostrophe go?
No apostrophe in Riot Fest.
Last week, me and you had a big week. You went to Riot Fest. I went to see Leftover Crack. Let's talk about it.
You know what? I actually was going to come in and tell you that I went to Riot Fest for a day and just see
you
how
didn't.
long I could keep it going.
Yeah.
Just to be like, yeah, I went by myself. I obviously did not go, but you, I hope, went to go see Leftover Crack.
I didn't, and that's why I'm bringing this up, is because neither one of us did anything. We old manned it up,
I did clean my crawl space yesterday.
which is an old man thing.
Yeah, I can, my knees, definitely.
Leftover Crack was at least on a Monday, but I didn't not go to the Leftover Crack because I was like, not feeling it. I was just kind of like, you know what? I don't think this is going to be a good show.
And also you had jury duty.
Yeah. No. Apostrophe, yes. But yeah, I just kind of like talked myself out of going because I didn't think it was going to be a good show. Then I saw clips of the show and I was like, I should have went to the show. I wasn't lazy. I was like ready to go all day. And then I just chose not to at the end. Riot Fest was something where like there was a chance that I was going to go Saturday. And then it kind of went downhill. Mm-hmm. And then there was a chance, like, even Sunday. But Sunday, it started raining. And I was like, I'm out.
Well, I excuse me, I just love that when you texted me asking if I was going, I was like, I might still go like last minute. It's next week, right? You're like, no, it's right now.
It's currently
today.
going on.
It's going on. So it's like, you know what? I don't think I'm going.
Don't think it was too big of a priority. Yeah.
I haven't heard.
Your brother didn't go?
No. I mean, I bet the Michalskis went. But other than that, I don't know anyone who went.
There's another show coming up. I actually have 2 shows this week. One is a band called Spite House, who I've never seen before, but over the past couple of months I've gotten into them. They were a band that opened for Angel Dust. I told you my secret to finding new bands.
Yep.
See an Angel
If
Dust
time
flyer.
an Angel Dust if they're opening for them.
This was one of those bands that opened for them, and I really like their music. And they're actually from I think they're from the East Coast, but they're playing in Chicago. So they're touring. They're headlining this tour at Cobra Lounge.
Okay.
It's Tuesday. That's a little bit rough to go to the city on a Tuesday from here, but they're a band I want to see. And then another band called After the Fall, who
I know them.
Aggro Willie used to play with them back in the day.
I was going to say, wow, I wouldn't have pegged them as still being active.
Yeah, I had no clue. I follow them on Facebook. I'm friends with a couple of them.
Were they local or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where, but they are somewhere around here. We played with them a bunch of times. Cool guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing in East Dundee or something like that. And that's on Thursday. And I'm like, I might just pop in and see if they remember me. And it'd be cool to watch them. They were a good band. So we'll see if I go to either one of those. But the next show that's coming up that both of us are considering, and it looks like maybe I'm considering more than you because you don't even know what it is.
I know which one you're talking about.
Guttermouth?
Yeah, and Diesel Boy.
And then the Boll Weevils?
Yeah.
And that is on a Friday. It's T1 Fest in Chicago. It's at Reggie's, which is on the south side, which is a pain to get to. And here's the bigger pain. I think Guttermouth starts at 11.
They're headlining?
Yeah.
Okay, no, at least they're not opening.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
Your thoughts?
It's just that I want to see Diesel Boy. That's the main thing. I've seen Guttermouth enough times that it's just
10.
You know what? I'd see them if I was there, but it's I kind of told myself it's I'm not going to Guttermouth headline shows anymore because I've seen them enough times and they play really the same set every time. I hate to say that, but it's so much stuff off of the first 2 albums, which is fine, but it's when you've seen it that many times. Yeah, because I followed them a little more than you do. Yeah. As far as moving forward, but it's gonna be a last minute thing.
We're not gonna go. Are we?
I don't know. Like I said, Diesel Boy, because I was really into them, and they actually broke up, and then they put out a new EP this year or last year, and it's been no joke 15, 20 years maybe in between. So I was kind of excited about that and listened to it, and it's all right, they still sound decent. So
also Iron Spiders are opening up, which is Dan Precision of 80 Fingers Louise.
They probably will. It's a great name too.
I think they do some classic punk covers or something like that, and I don't know if they do original music, but either way it's a pretty good show to go to, and it's $23, which is not a bad thing in this day and age for a $23 show plus shipping, handling, material handling, taxes. I'm sure it'll be $40 by the time it's over.
Shipping and handling,
but 23.
Can I just pick it up at the gate? Yeah, but we still gotta ship it to the
exactly. All right, well, that's all the shows that we're not going to go to in the next couple of weeks. I do have something interesting for you. All this talk, the internet is running wild with things here. Everybody's taken this and run with it. It's the fact that you love Crocs, right? And so I did something. I started a group. Everybody, all our Instagram followers, we each threw in some cash.
No.
and got you a nice pair of Crocs.
No, you didn't.
We did. And I hope you like them, and I hope they're your size. Here we go. Here they are.
Nice.
Got you a couple brand new Crocs for you.
Oh, yeah. That's so funny, actually.
I was only able to get $5, and it was all mine.
This is awesome. Thank you. I was curious to see if these would come into play just because we talked about them. Mm-hmm. And my mother-in-law actually downloaded the McDonald's app just so... I don't know if you need that to get these, but...
No, you just buy a Happy Meal. So McDonald's is offering Crocs now in their Happy Meals. Here's the thing. You only get one.
That's okay.
You only get one Croc. Oh. So I had to go twice. And then now you have 2 probably the same footed and different designed Crocs.
This is wonderful.
You can at least take a look at it. You can enjoy it. There it is. It's a beautiful Croc. Fantastic. I did not try reaching out to gather money for
I thought you were
this.
going to say I did not try these on yet. This is awesome. Thank you.
I did listen to your other podcast, and you were talking about the McDonald's app and how you were like against it because you're an old man. Let me tell you something.
Both sides, my friend.
I get a McDonald's coffee every single day,
They're both right foot.
and it is 99 cents on the app to get a McDonald's coffee, and it is almost $3 to get a coffee if you do not use the app.
Yeah.
So if I get a coffee
So it's
every day,
definitely worth it. Like I said, though, it's just...
and you don't have to go inside. You pull up to the curb, and they bring it to you.
Does it cause fights ever between you and Meagan?
The coffee?
No, the McDonald's app. That's what I was talking about on my podcast, how it was more so... The whole thing is, yeah, you're like, let's use the McDonald's app. But, like, it's not like you can... Because the food is cooked so quickly anyway, you basically, like, order it when you're kind of close.
Yeah.
But it still sucks if there's 10 cars ahead of you. It's like, And that's the thing, though. Can you go in for that? That's kind of what my question
go in.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you
wasn't
can
sure if
choose
the
however.
app had to be drive-through.
It's drive-through, it's walk-in, it's curbside, so they have spots reserved for it. It's all of it. But to me, that makes it seem like it is not an efficient use of McDonald's time.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying, like there's 10 cars in the thing, I go sit down. When am I in the queue? I placed my order 2 blocks ago.
Yeah.
And then I have to sit sometimes. A couple times it's taken like 10 minutes and I'm angry and I throw the coffee
Or
at 'em.
if your food was processed that quickly and it's still sitting there because the guy ahead of you ordered, 15 chicken nugget orders. So,
that's okay. I don't mind that. If I'm eating at McDonald's, I got bigger problems than if the food is warm or not or whatever. I don't eat the McDonald's food. I rarely do, but the points go up because of the coffee. The only reason I have the app is because of the coffee.
speaking of points, kind of going back to your other podcast, I was at Goodwill this week and I actually was able to save $6.
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at you. You're sad. You don't want to talk about it anymore. You're like, I don't want to talk about Goodwill.
I'm done with Goodwill. So anyway, congratulations on the new Crocs.
Thank you. These are awesome.
This week I received the longest text message that I've ever received from my wife.
Okay.
And I opened it up and I got very, very nervous. It scared me because this is how it started. I don't even know where
pregnant.
to begin.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, we did. Did I mention? We have a new member of the family
No.
on the way. Actually, it's here. Meagan got a porch goose.
Okay, yeah. I saw that guy.
Yeah, it's a goose that she dresses up for the occasions out front. The fourth
wonderful.
member of our family. It's named Goose.
God, if that thing was alive and I walked past and I didn't realize it, man, it's well-mannered.
So anyway, she messaged and she goes, I don't even know where to begin. And when you get that message from your wife, you're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do this time? And so I don't even know where to begin with all of this misinformation that you two bozos are spreading. Now, she could have put this on on our Instagram. That would have been a better place for this, but it was directly to me. She said, Myra from Family Matters was not a stalker. She was Steve's girlfriend.
Steve. Urkel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Steve's girlfriend was Myra, who was on my top 3 list
Gotcha,
of
okay,
90s
okay.
babes.
But who was the one that was obsessed with him when he was Urkel?
Myrtle Urkel, Steve's cousin, was stalking Eddie Winslow.
There we go. Was
Max,
she played by him too, though? By Jaleel White?
Myrtle
Jaleel
Urkel,
or no deal?
I believe it. Yeah, it was Jaleel. Yeah. Solid reference to Parks and Rec. I don't know if you've ever watched it. Great show.
Seen a couple.
Max was Laura's friend, who you brought up.
Okay.
Who dated Waldo Geraldo
There
Faldo.
we go. I forgot about Max.
And then she ended the text with sheesh.
Is her name Maxine on the
think
show?
so.
Because I was thinking
think
of a
so.
Justine, actually. So
There you go. So that's it. So she cleared it up. I didn't do anything wrong besides provide misinformation for many weeks to the dozens of people who are listening to this. So I apologize for that, but thank you, Meagan, for all you do around here.
When is she going to be on the show?
She's on every week. She walks by. It's annoying. That door is very dirty, by the way. Look at that.
No comment.
Have you seen that since day one? Why didn't you mention anything? That's gross. It's like
I would never mention how filthy this room is.
the house. You know what's crazy? If you were to not come to this house every week, it would be so much dirtier.
Oh, we talk about that all the time.
I
Like,
vacuum every time you come to my house.
I will thank guests when they leave for making us clean our home. You know, it's like
it's the cleanest it's ever been. And once again, I don't know if we've said this on the pod, but you are besides me and Meagan, you are the most visited person, the person who's been here most besides me and Meagan in our house. And it's only because of 15 weeks of podcasting or whatever. So we've lived here for 9 years. Anyway, that's is that all I have? I got one other quick thing. Meagan was in another pie eating contest.
Yes. I saw the pictures. Actually, go on.
That's all I got. It was apple.
What I wanted to say is that, first of all, good for her. This is amazing. She needs to start wearing like one of our t-shirts because she's gonna eventually get picked up by someone. I feel like we could make money off of your wife and her pie eating skills. That's the first thing I thought of.
I have a 4-minute video, which is the entire video of the entire pie eating contest, and it was very impressive.
I could hear you cheering.
I was very impressive because they did not give her credit.
Oh yeah, I saw like that. He's like kind of like
yes.
look at it.
Yeah, the guy who was on the mic, the MC, who was also the MC when she was in the strawberry rhubarb pie eating contest, strawberry rhubarb, earlier this summer, where she took second place. She took second place again. Yeah. She lost to someone who had won last year, and the guy won again. Not only that, the guy's kid won the kids division. And so
they're training, huh? Or they're like a legacy family.
It really is fun to watch. It's like Hulk Hogan and Nick Hogan.
Same thing.
It's the same exact thing. So so she came in second, but she did. A lot of people were like, "Whoa, look at her eat that pie!" It was very impressive. And I don't know what else to say. She just keeps entering these pie eating contests, and then I was like, "When does this end? And she was like, Never. And I was like, okay, then I will be there.
Mantle is filled with first place trophies.
I will be there to support you in your dreams because she supports me on this podcast. This is a pie eating contest.
Yeah.
For me.
Oh yeah.
This is what it is.
I saw the fest you guys went to. Also, we went to that one like 3-4 years ago.
We went to it.
Can remember anything?
We went to it twice this year.
Did you?
For pie eating contests.
Nice.
Separate fruits. Separate fruits.
The rhubarb and the.
And the apples.
Awesome.
And then also they have like bands play and stuff like that. And guess who the headlining band was for that evening?
Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven.
I sent you 2 things that I found in the wild garage sailing.
So you're starting to believe me that these guys are everywhere.
Yeah, they're taking over. It's so funny because it's like straight from Schaumburg, and it's like so it's just you recording covers. Like it's whatever.
And then I guess one question that I had for you. I came across a video yesterday actually, that was Mo Howard from the Three Stooges, and he was on like a variety show, and he was teaching people how to throw pies in people's faces, and different kind of behind the back, this way, the tilt,
fake them out,
a lot of great ones.
Okay.
And I was watching it, and I love it. A pie to the face to me is fantastic.
Yeah.
Farts, very funny. Correct?
Yeah. Absolutely. Right? They are. I'm sorry, they are.
They are.
Still hysterical.
So to me, I asked the question to you, as a friend. What's funnier, pie to the face or fart?
Farts.
Okay.
I
disagree. I disagree, and here's why. Farts can be disgusting. There is never a disgusting pie to the face. Pie to the face is always, unless it's a shaving cream pie, in which case that's a problem, because that's not a pie. That's an assault weapon, and it shouldn't be allowed. But a pie to the face is a beautiful work of art that is always enjoyed in the end. Like, you get hit with a pie, you're like mad, and then you're like, I'm going to get you back.
Yeah. As you're licking it off your face.
Enjoying it. Reach behind a table, a pie shows up, and then you chase a person. It's good fun.
Okay, all right.
Whereas a fart...
You can be a lot more creative with the pie.
Yeah, a fart is just like, some people are like, oh, no, why?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, too, because, like, farts are... I mean, they're considered offensive, but it's like a burp, you know? I mean, it's just coming out the other end, and they are hilarious.
They are funny. I just wanted to know on your end.
So. You know what? I do have one thing here that I wrote down. Okay? All right.
Is it about pies?
No. Okay. This is going to test your spelling / your comprehension skills, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So... I couldn't think of a better way to set this up, so I'm just going to say it's like, all right, I've got an idea for a movie. Famous Vandal song. But anyway, I had to introduce you in this role, okay? So I want you to spell out everything that I say right now, okay?
Literally spell out?
Literally spell it out. Let me finish, though. Sasha as a sassy-ass assassin.
No, I can't do
Come
that.
on, do it.
SASASSYASSASSIN.
Ah, you forgot the last ASS. Ass assassin.
Oh.
You got ass assin.
It's pretty good, though.
Yeah,
I'll take
well
that.
done, well
That's
done.
like 90%.
I have no idea why I thought of that, but it was just like, I think the word assassin came up, and I was like, there's a lot of S's and A's, and it was
that's solid. I don't want to write that down, but I do want to cut that off of your...
Sure.
We got to find something.
I was going to put Sasha as a sassy-ass assassin's assistant, but even Joni was like, well, now you're going too far off with, like, adding different, like, the N and the T and stuff and
that's
whatnot.
True.
So, but, yeah,
okay.
so,
All
yeah.
right.
But, yeah, that's your next movie role.
I like it.
A sassy-ass assassin.
Which brings us to my favorite segment of the show when we talk about the movies and whatever else we've been putting inside of ourselves this week. What have you got? What's going on this week? What are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you eating? Do you have any more of those weird ones that you did in the first couple episodes where it was like a flashlight or whatever you bought? I don't remember.
I do. And I guess we'll just go with that first, actually. Yes. It is the Vivo Sun stand-up weed puller. So, I don't know if you've seen these things on Instagram.
No.
Like, I keep seeing ads for them because there's
Of
like...
course,
there's
because
like,
it's directed to you.
yeah. And it's like, this is just a random brand Vivo. So you can find, like, if you go on Amazon, you'll find the same exact thing, but with 50 different names. But anyway, this is essentially just, it has a foot pedal thing on it. And there's two prongs.
It goes in.
So you go right over, like, the weed. You push into it, and then, like, you use leverage, and it just kind of pulls the weed right out. So it's very satisfying. It's, like, awesome doing it, because it's like, hell yeah, you get the weed out. Problems with this thing, though, are since you pull it sideways to get it out, you're making, like, gaping holes in your lawn when you pull these things out. So, I mean, like, every hole's about... Yeah. And you're really only pulling about 2 inches off, so you're not even getting the entire root. So it's, like, aesthetically, it's like, yeah, this looks nice right after you do it, but chances are the weed's going to grow back in, like, a week or two.
I've got one. And,
okay.
I don't use it. I use the, like, just manual long-pronged, two-pronged thing because it just works better.
Yeah.
It's not good for your back.
That's what I'm saying. With this thing, you don't have to... You can stand and do it. Now, another problem with the thing, too, though, is that the mud just gets... It cakes on there, and it doesn't... So it's stuck. Like every time you have to almost, like, do that. But, yeah, so I would recommend it, I guess. Just, like, it wasn't that expensive, and like I said, it was kind of fun to use. And then I got a movie I just watched.
No. Do you have any more lawn care items?
No, sorry, not this week.
What kind of weed and feed you throwing down?
Scott's. I use the turf
3-in-1?
builder. No, I use the I do the seasonal ones.
Yeah.
So I'm behind though. I haven't done the fall one yet, so I got to do that like real soon.
If you got some extra, bring it over.
I will do. The other thing is a movie I watched recently. This is a brand new movie called The Substance. It's got Demi Moore. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of her.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's been a while. Actually, I was surprised to see her. And she looks exactly like Courtney Cox now, which is just crazy because they had like the same kind of work done on their lips. So, but anyway, so this is a horror movie.
Allegedly. Or they aged gracefully.
Yes, we'll say that. But anyway, this is a horror movie. It's basically she's like an aging kind of like a Jenny Craig type. She's like a fitness star, and her boss, played by Dennis Quaid, he's just like a real fucking creep. They do a lot of like effective things to make him even grosser, like when he's eating, so they show close-ups on his mouth and he's like eating shrimp, and it's just disgusting. But anyway, so she finds out about this experimental drug that can essentially just make you like a younger, better version of yourself. And it is some of like the sickest fucking body horror I've seen in a long time. Like, just for Demi Moore being in this movie is like...
Wait, what does that mean, body horror?
I mean, essentially just a lot of limbs being... a lot of close-ups on Yeah, just like the body mutating and things like that. And the movie is completely ridiculous, but it's actually done really well.
Okay.
So I wouldn't recommend it for you.
Yeah,
for horror fans,
wouldn't.
absolutely. And I'm happy just because, like I said, I think last week I haven't seen any good horror in a while. And then speaking of horror, just another quick one. The show From just started back up, season 3. Have you heard of this? Meagan was actually watching it like a few weeks back when I came here. Yeah, she was on like probably catching up.
I think she was talking about it yesterday. Now that you say it,
yeah.
So maybe I have heard of it.
So it's like a horror version of the show Lost. Essentially, it's by like the same creators and stuff. And I don't know. I'm just gonna say like just this first episode is like I don't know. I thought the show was kind of falling off last season, and it's just still like trudging along. And like the monsters they show were really awesome looking, but now they show them too much. So it's almost like the effect is kind of gone. Like when it was a quick scare, but now it's like when the face is like on for 10 seconds or whatever, you're like,
This is an Amazon Prime thing?
Yeah, Amazon or like MGM, one of those. But yeah, you can watch it on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, she brought that up, that it was like MGM Plus. Yeah. And she's like...
So I had to, I think, order that for like a week. Like an idiot instead of just waiting until the whole season was out and then doing it. So.
That's what she said. She said, Goff's an idiot. And then like
that's all she said.
Yeah. But she was like, no, I'm not signing up because it comes out like a week at a time, so it wouldn't even make sense. And Goff's an idiot.
Yep. So that's all I got. How about you?
Okay,
cool.
Put
inside yourself.
I got a couple things music wise. I was talking to my Italian friend I was telling you about, potentially Robert De Niro, potentially not Robert De Niro.
Al Pacino maybe.
And we were talking
Not Pacino.
It was Pacino. But so we were just talking about the 90s and how like Oasis is doing a tour again, right? And it's like a 30-year anniversary since whatever album they did. Mm-hmm. I went to see Weezer. It was a 30-year anniversary of the Blue album. We were just talking about how 1994 was an incredible year for music, and like looked up all the albums that came out, and it was like the Black Album by Metallica, Offspring, Smash, Green Day, Dookie. I mean, it's just like a list of incredible albums that came out with. And then I got a random 6 texts from my cousin Nick, and they're just like, here's a bunch of music, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And like 3 of them were covers of 90s songs. Nice. And then the band Sponge just put out an album called 1994, which like they're from back in the day. So anyway, the 90s, obviously the greatest time of all time, if you ask me.
Debatable,
But 4 Year Strong, who I believe you're a fan of, correct?
Older stuff, but yeah.
I'm with you. I like the older stuff better. I haven't got, like, the newer stuff,
I just sold one of their shirts a couple weeks ago on eBay.
But I still, like, listen to hear, like, the new stuff that they put out. And they just put out a cover of Stone Temple Pilots' Vaseline. And,
that's who that was. No, I know a cover of that came up. Just I don't know, like on my music for Amazon, at least when you're listening, when the album ends, I just have it set so similar music plays. Okay. So yeah, I knew it was like this is not Stone Temple Pilots, but okay.
Yeah, so it's makes weird sense too. Now. It's like it's a cover of it. It kind of sounds like it. Yeah. And you're like, oh, they didn't do much like to not cover it. You know, like to put their own spin on it. It's just.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about that? Like when, because I want it to sound good, but yeah, I mean, like there's certain times, like on Punk Goes Metal, I don't know if you remember that album. Yeah. Whatever band covers the Ozzy Osbourne song, Don't Ask Me, I Don't Know. But anyway, that song, the band, like the singer sounds exactly like Ozzy, and this so everything. So it's one of those where it's just like this could just be like them. You know, I don't know.
I can have a good time watching cover bands play and stuff like that, but like if I'm listening to a band that I like, that's a big band, like Weezer just put out a Blue album. Deluxe with 30 unreleased tracks. None of that interests me. Like, I'm interested in the 8 songs that were on it that I like. And then when they put out, they're like, oh yeah, we covered Blondie. I'm like, let me listen to it. I'm like, oh yeah, this makes me want to listen to Blondie. Like, you know, like if I like that song or whatever. I never like the cover more than I like the original version of the songs. You?
I mean, there's been a handful of them.
Handful.
Yeah. Like I mean, it's like I'd rather hear Newfound Glory sing.
I'll listen
My
to
Heart
it
Will
once.
Go On than
I'll
Celine
never
Dion, so
I'll never listen to this song again.
Yeah.
That's what I think about it. Okay. Hey, great. Congratulations.
It existed.
Yeah.
It's there.
And that's it. Now I'm going to go back and listen to like their old stuff. Yeah. Which that's all their old stuff.
Sounds just like that.
Thank you. Another thing that I had is a band called Grey Ghost, or potentially The Grey Ghost. I'm not sure which one.
Okay.
But this is my friend Dave Claude, who used to be in Private Joker.
Okay.
This is also Russ, who used to play bass in Last Annual, who is like one of my favorite regional, local, whatever you want to call them, bands.
Okay.
And Jeff LaRoe. I always mess up their last name, but he's the drummer of this band. And there's another guy who's their singer. I'm not sure who it is. But anyway, like Russ, I've always liked as a bass player. Dave, I've always loved. I mean, I've known him since high school. Jeff, I've probably known him since high school or at least around there or whatever. And those are like two of my favorite local musician, whatever you want to say. Like Dave's an incredible guitarist. He's a great singer. Jeff just plays every instrument. He played guitar in Last Annual.
Yeah.
He's an incredible drummer. Like, it blows my mind. So they're two of my favorite people. I love watching them like play music in general. So they've been in this band, the Grey Ghost, and they've been putting out like 3 songs at a time every couple of months.
Okay.
But it's called like a complete album. So it's like all music from the same period of time I think that they've been writing. I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. But it's like 3 songs, then another 3, then another 3. And so it's part 1 of 6, part 2 of 6, part 3 of 6, part 4. And I think they just put out the 5th part of it. And it's just super creative. They're also both goofy guys. They're like funny and like they like that kind of music. Jeff was in a band called Contents Under Pressure.
Yeah, that's how I was going to ask, yeah.
Yeah, so there's like elements of that where it's like a little goofier. He's a big Weird Al fan.
Nice.
And so like there's a lot of like funny stuff involved, but it's also just incredibly good. And I could listen to those guys do stuff anytime. So Grey Ghost or The Grey Ghost, depending on if you're on Facebook or Spotify.
Okay.
And then the only other thing that I got is actually right here. Look at this. It's a book.
Visuals.
You ever see a book?
Well,
there's a book.
We have some of those at the house. I thought they were just like to help lift things.
They are. They're holding our camera
Yes.
over there. This is called Outrageous by Cliff Nestoroff. And this is, he does books for like comedy history, a lot of them.
Okay.
I'm sure he has other books as well, but I know he has another book called The Comedians, which goes back to like the beginning of stuff, including like minstrel shows and blackface and like from the beginning. And this is actually a book that starts with that stuff as well.
Okay.
But it's all about just like censorship and how it's always been around, like the comedy and like pushing boundaries in TV shows and stuff like that. I mean, it goes back to a point where it's like it kind of always shows that religious groups are the ones who are pushing back against most things. So there's always a religious group that's like, no, this is obscene. It's going to ruin the children of our youth, and whatever. Like back in the day, there was like I Love Lucy, right? They did not want to show Lucy when she was pregnant.
Okay.
Because you can't have a pregnant woman shown on TV.
No.
That's what Lucy and Ricardo, they had separate beds because you can't, we know it happens, but you can't possibly have. So it like starts with like stuff from back then, and then it kind of even shows you like people who fought against those groups, how as they get older, they then think the younger groups, a lot of them are obscene.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, well, it was different when I was showing my ankle. Now they're showing 2 ankles.
Shoulders.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of that. Super interesting, crazy book. I highly recommend it if you're into like censorship and the culture war like that's going on today, because it goes up until today. There's like a band called Boley and Wilson. Never heard of these guys in my life. It's like a country comedy duo, and they just wrote like, I don't want to use the word filth because that sounds really bad, but just like disgusting songs and whatever, or like
humor.
They had songs like a song called Cocaine, and when they would play it live, they would throw cornstarch into the crowd, and like it's, we look at it and we're like, okay, what? But back then it was like, hey, you can't talk about cocaine live. And this is like the 70s and 80s. They got arrested and like kicked out of whatever because like the Texas, and I'm gonna misrepresent a bunch of stuff here, but like the Texas Alcohol Commission or whatever it's called went to one of their shows and were under the instruction, if they get obscene, end the show. So they had a song called The Fart Song, which I'm going to play at the end of this. If you're listening to the audio version, not the YouTube, I'm going to play it because if I put it on YouTube, it might get flagged or whatever. So I'm going to put it on there. I listened to it and I was like, this is hilarious. Like it's just a song about farts or whatever. But 40 years ago, that was like, you can't do this in the public or whatever. In Texas. In Texas. And so it's like different parts of the country, what's going on, and who's going against what. And then like the PMRC, if you remember like the Dee Snider and Frank Zappa, they were like, this was in like the 80s or early 90s where it was like, what's her name? Tipper Gore, Al Gore, like they started this parental music group that's where the advisory label came from.
Content,
and they were blaming Dee Snider for like the downfall of society, and he's like, "You're an idiot!" Like, what? And so they had to go to court and do all this stuff. And Al Gore was even like, "I enjoy Frank Zappa's music," like, but still. So that's where the advisory thing came from. So like, it's just a history of all that stuff leading to now. I loved it. I thought it was a really, really good book. And I don't know. I guess that's it.
Awesome.
That's all I got. So let's move to our top 3 bands/artists that we cannot stand. I'll start things off this week.
Alrighty.
I'm going to go with number 3. And once again, I went through and I was like, I'm going to make sure that I don't like one song from each of these.
Okay.
And so my number 3, Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
Panic at the Disco, I kind of lump them in with like Fall Out Boy and that type of era of music. I don't know if that's...
absolutely.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't know if that's fair or not, but I feel like...
the lead singer of Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco have very similar...
Yeah, it's like...
Good voices, but very...
higher pitched, kind of, and whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That being said, I've never liked one Panic at the Disco song, and there are a couple Fall Out Boy songs that I do like.
You know what's funny? Actually, there's there's like 2 Panic at the Disco songs I like, but one of them is a cover.
Okay. All right. I'm not a fan, so that was my number 3.
All right, my number 3. This, like a band I absolutely cannot stand. I mean, like we're gonna have to say that before everyone. It's a band from Chicago called the Blue Meanies. One of the worst. That's what I just wrote down. That was clever. Come on. That's a joke. It's a joke. I'll see my way out. All right. Let's move on now. My number 3, and this is probably gonna, well, if certain people in my family hear about it, might cause some ripples. Pearl Jam. Just
okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say again, for at least the third and then the second one, yes, a couple songs that it's just like, I can't deny it. Like if it's on, but bands I don't put on, and I've just never liked Pearl Jam. Like even like with their hits back in the day, again, it's like, okay, that's fine. Also, Eddie Vedder's got his like annoying Cubs thing, you know.
That's
and it's
true.
just like, so again, it's a petty thing, but it's more just like, I don't care about this band, and it's like my brother and sister-in-law love Pearl Jam so much, and that's why it's like I don't think they listen to the show. But guys, if you are, I apologize, but I can't stand Pearl Jam.
It's just an opinion. I love Pearl Jam's first 2 albums. Absolutely love them. I think I bought them on like Columbia House.
For 1 penny. Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely love them. They used to be called Mookie Blaylock, who I used to play for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
And I used to own a Mookie Blaylock
Is that
jersey.
really what they were called?
Yeah.
Before Pearl Jam?
Yeah.
It's great.
So we're learning here. That's what we do.
I do know the pop punk band Phoenix TX was called River Phoenix at one point.
Oh, okay. Well, the album 10, I believe, is also named after Mookie Blaylock's number because he was number 10.
Okay.
Look, I might be spreading false information, but I'm 99 and going lower percentage sure that it was. So.
Well, they still suck. So.
I like Pearl Jam. I love those 2 albums, and then I got to a point where I was like, this isn't the same. I don't like this. They became like a more of a traditional rock band or whatever. I don't know. I would listen to them and I never got into it, and then I just stopped listening to them. Then I did the thing where you turn like 35, 40 years old and you listen back to the old stuff that you used to listen to, and I was like, let me take a listen here. Mm-hmm. Toss on some Jeremy.
Let me go back and check those bands from...
Yeah, and so I was listening to this while mowing the lawn, and I was like, this is the most white, middle-aged white guy thing that I could do. I'm listening to Pearl Jam while I do yard work. And since then, though, I've been into the old stuff that I liked. I still can't really get into the new stuff. I've tried again. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
But the old stuff, I do like some Pearl Jam. So,
okay.
My number 2, I'd like to make some sort of Pearl Jam reference, but I don't even know how to compare the 2.
Okay.
So this is
it Temple of the Dog?
Massive artist who I believe Is it the bread song? I don't mind stealing bread from the mouth of something.
Wait. You're not. It's not Temple of the Dog, is it?
I think it is.
Hungry.
Yeah. Right?
That's Pearl Jam and Soundgarden like spliced together. Temple of the Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that song?
Yeah. The one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going hungry.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Wait. So are you pro or against?
No. I mean, if it's on, I'll kind of laughingly sing it. But no,
okay.
I don't really like it because I'm not a big Soundgarden fan either.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. I
Sorry.
like Soundgarden. But my number 2. Nowhere near any of those bands. This is someone who I believe passed away recently, but that's why I'd like to bash him. Jimmy Buffett. I've got no room in my heart for a Jimmy Button. Jimmy Button?
Jimmy Button.
Jimmy Buckets?
Jimmy Butler?
Or Jimmy Buffett. I don't get it. I don't understand the cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
I don't understand the Hawaiian shirts.
Margaritaville and
yeah. None of it. I've never liked that song. It's just annoying. Since the first time I heard it, I was like, I feel like I've heard this 1,000 times and I hate this. I am happy that a lot of people get happiness from his music. Yeah. Once again, blah,
it's
blah,
a very
blah.
mature thing for
I know.
you to say.
And I truly believe that. Now that I'm older, I believe that. When I was younger, I was like, screw Jimmy Buffett, screw his family. But as you get older, I think you should be like more accepting that other people are happy with him. But me, no, not happy. Very upset if I hear a Jimmy Buffett. So,
as is the case with my number 2. Are you done?
Yeah.
Sorry. And it's Rancid.
Okay.
Another band that, I can find Rancid songs that it's just like, this is fine. But overall, the voices are terrible. I think Tim and, Tim Armstrong and Lars Ulrich. I think they both have awful voices. They say Lars Ulrich. Yeah. Lars Fredrickson. My bad. And also, whichever one of them's married to Brody, it's like that. God, all those voices are just terrible. I hate them.
I like the Distillers.
I don't know. I guess I haven't heard enough, but yeah, I don't know. I just Rancid, a band that I like musically because they're a punk band, so a lot of the stuff they, I can. That's why it is tolerable. But for the most part, I was kind of tired of their gutter punk act after like one album. And it's not an act. I mean, that's these guys, but it's just like, it's so ridiculous at this age.
That might have been one of the albums that came out in '94, and Out Come the
Probably
Wolves.
Go or wait, Let's Go or And Out Come the Wolves?
And Out Come the Wolves.
I think you're right.
I think so.
Yeah, that was a good album.
That's the album that
I'm like, that was a okay album.
That was an album. No, I'm a Rancid fan, but they have so many songs that I don't care about, but they have a bunch of songs that I do like and love, and they recently played Wrigley with the Smashing Pumpkins and Green Day.
Right?
Green Day.
Oh, Green Day, okay.
Yeah, which I considered going, but then I was like, nah, I'm not going to go to this show.
Yeah.
But I like Rancid. I'm a Rancid guy, but I do understand not liking them. My wife, not a fan. The voice is a thing. It's a thing. Also, Lars Fredrickson is like friends with CM Punk, so automatically I lose some respect for him there. Jeez. But yeah, I get it. All right, well then my number 1. I wonder if it's going to be your number 1. My number 1 is someone who brings joy to millions and millions of people.
Is it Taylor Swift?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I have no problem with Taylor Swift.
No, me either.
I think I've heard a couple songs where I go, what is this? This is all right as a pop song. And it was Taylor Swift. And I was like, oh, I guess I like a Taylor Swift song.
I just wasn't sure if that was like just your easy one.
No.
All right.
But this one is kind of like, it's weird because so many people like this person that you're like, well, I guess it's a thing directed to me.
Okay.
People love this guy. If I say the next word, you're going to know who it is. The Working Class.
Well, kind of. I mean, I'm thinking of Geddy Lee, actually. A song called Working Man.
All right.
Gonna call me the Working Man.
No, American working class is what we're talking about here.
All right, I got
Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, all right.
Get out of here,
Is
Bruce
he the
Springsteen.
boss? Is that what it is? Or the captain? Or
the captain.
The captain.
That's even better.
Captain and Tennille.
More like the Crapton, if you ask me. Let me tell you something. I have never liked a Bruce Springsteen song. before we started this podcast, I listened to his top 5 Spotify songs just to make sure that there's not one creeping in there. And there was not one. I did not enjoy 1 second of it. I don't believe in his, I'm a working man, I'm a boy from... And you want to talk about voice? What kind of voice is that? Talented, whatever. You can have a Sopranos member in your band, and I still don't like your band. Come on, Bruce Springsteen. Yeah. Now, if I met Bruce Springsteen, I would never badmouth him. I would say,
not.
Congratulations on
whatever it is
success.
That you do, my friend.
But yeah, I can't. And people go and it's like a 3-4 hour concert. Kudos to you, man. I bet it's a great show. This day and age, you got to put on a good show because people are spending insane amounts of money to go to these things. They wouldn't if it wasn't worth it. I'm sure it's worth it. But to me, woof. Mm-hmm. Big woof. That's my number 1.
Okay. My number 1, nothing close to what you just said, actually. And this one I can actually say I like no music from this band. I like none of their songs. Okay. And it is Fish.
Okay.
An old friend of mine used to be a huge Fish fan, and that was part of what kind of led to my hatred for them, just basically hearing this all the time about how amazing that... And this person was like what is called like a Fish fan, like fan with PH. So it's like these are people who travel with the band.
Don't they have a better name than that?
Maybe. I think I just came up with this on my own. But
Mr. Creativity.
Yeah, Fish fans. But yes, I remember one time listening, and it was just like, just listen to like every guy's like playing their own song all at once. And it was one of those like fucking every band does that. Like if you're trying to tell me it's like, yeah, they're putting music together to make it sound like, it's like, yeah, everyone does that.
Fish fans don't do justice for the band. Like I'm sure the band is
fine,
no,
I mean like these
but
dudes
the people who like them.
That's what it was. This person was very like made me not like the band. And I still don't enjoy the music listening to it, but it was just like, all right, like you were talking about before, it's like clearly these guys are doing something that like is working and people love it and it connects with them. Just not me. However, one of the funniest videos I've ever seen was when you pull, it's like, you know those videos you can watch on YouTube where it's like they pull the music away and you can only hear like the feet tapping. One of those, it's like how people actually hear Fish. And it was like a lot of like, like they took everything.
To me, that's the real music
video.
In general.
Yeah.
I'm with you on Fish. The only reason I didn't add them to my list was because I haven't heard enough of them to be like, I hate these guys. I've heard enough to where I'm like, I'm not going to listen to this. But not like to the point of like Bruce Springsteen, I'm like, no, you got to get this out of here. But Fish, I feel like Fish would be in the same category. I don't think I would find something that I like.
I could see you at a Summerfest, like when you're on like the, I don't know, one of the rides and like, wait, no, he doesn't, no, Born in the USA. Yeah. You're just up at the top, no, turn it off, stop.
It's true. I'm not a fan. You don't have any potent notables, right?
No, just the Blue Meanies.
So Fish was on my potent notables.
Okay.
And I included the Grateful Dead with that because and the reason they didn't make my list, same thing with Grateful Dead. I kind of don't know enough to hate on them. They did have like an MTV song like video back in the day.
The one where the dog's like running away with their like body parts. Which
weren't they like skeletons or something? Yeah. I can deal with that.
I was just gonna say they have a leg up on Fish because of that song.
There you go. So I didn't put them in because of that. Dashboard Confessionals, another one. I cannot stand the guy's voice. The music is just
There's a lot of those bands like the Drive Through Records era back then, like the Starting Line and stuff. A lot of those bands that to me were like, I can't.
Dave Matthews Band would have been on my list. However, recently I was doing a Peloton run and there was a song on and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. What is this? And I looked it up and it was a Dave Matthews song and it was like an aggressive Dave Matthews song.
Every once in a while you'll get those B-sides where you're like, huh.
And so I was like, I'm not going to put him on this list. He's pretty close to the list, but I'd like to know what song that was. Like, I don't remember what song.
I think I wouldn't put that. That would be like an easy one. And I think like, I hope Nickelback isn't on your thing because that's another one that's just.
I put Creed, Nickelback, Puddle of Mud as kind of like, I don't really have an opinion on them. Yeah. I don't hate them the way that a lot of people seem to hate them.
I was just going to say real quick with Dave Matthews, I was just going to say I think he's given me like some entertainment in other aspects, like whether it's been acting or just memes and
Okay.
stuff. So it's just like, yeah, it's like I don't care for Dave Matthews
Yeah.
Band, but it's like, yeah, whatever, he seems okay. So, but yeah, okay, so
Creed, Nickelback, Puddle of Mud.
yeah,
Like you're into it.
no, I mean, like,
Like, you love
yeah,
them?
I'm like, don't fucking say another word.
You love them as much as you love Jelly Roll.
No, there was the one song. Remember that song by Fuel? I'm doing a lot of singing this one. It's like, in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I forgot where I heard that, but it was stuck in my head for like 2 weeks.
I like that
About a
song.
month ago. Yeah, it's Fuel, I believe. The song's
Yeah.
called Hemorrhage, I think.
Yeah, great
No,
song.
it's not a bad song,
Great
but it's
song.
like I kept singing it, and then finally Joni just like Googled that. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like, "Don't far away."
Yeah, Creed, Nickelback, Puddle of Mud to me is like, I'm just not. It's not for me, but I don't hate.
Dude, I could add probably another 25 bands to that list. Seether, Chevelle,
Yeah.
like all those kind of
Yeah.
bands. That's why
Stained.
it's like, yeah, with
Stained.
see, Stained, I would say a little more nu metal than just
Okay.
like alt
Yeah.
whatever. But like the whole thing with Nickelback to me is just like, yeah, I mean, these guys are a joke. It's like, but fuck, there are a lot worse bands in my opinion than what I've even heard from them.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of it is just like it's fun, and I think even Nickelback embraces that by now.
And then there's the Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock, Korn, which I know you're a huge fan of all of those bands. And
Not Kid Rock.
And still listen to them daily. You only like Kid Rock for his political beliefs, which is cool. But Limp Bizkit, Korn, I know you're into. All of those bands have songs that I like secretly like.
yeah.
And by the way, Jelly Roll was on SNL this weekend.
Okay.
And I listened to the first song and I was like, not really into it. Listened to the second song and I was like, I'm not really into it, but I can see why people like it. He's got like an interesting voice. The music is like the topic of the music. The subject is like nice. I'm like, okay, all right, Jelly Roll, I understand it.
That's the country singer. Right?
Yeah. So Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock, Korn. Radiohead was another one where I'm like, well, recently I listened to all of their stuff and I picked out 4 or 5 songs that I do like of theirs. The rest of it, trash.
Okay.
But not enough for the top 3. Tool is another one. Producer Tony, I apologize ahead of time.
You got to
but
apologize to Shug as well. It's his favorite band.
Shug, I'm sorry. I don't get it. It's above me. I don't know where to put apostrophes. That's why I can't like Tool. I don't get it. I don't understand the structure of it. It's just too much. The singer owns a winery or vineyard or whatever.
You're
I
sweating
can't.
so much right now.
Look,
I mean, they're good.
It's not
but,
about
they're
Tool.
okay.
It's the coffee and the cardio.
I know.
And then and then other ones like you brought up Taylor Swift. Another one for me, kind of like Taylor Swift, would be like Drake. Like I don't really know Drake. I'm sure I've heard a Drake song and been like, oh, okay, that's not offensive to my ears, but I don't know enough to put him on a list.
I guess
of
I find him
stuff, so.
annoying, like as a human. But
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. So that's it. So I guess we got to drop the bucket, my friend.
This is what we do every week. We pull a topic for next week's episode from this trusty bucket that producer Tony 3D printed for us. Thank you again, producer Tony, and I'm sorry about Tool. Producer Tony, by the way, went to see Korn last night, so
right.
do what you will with respect points to that. Here it comes.
All right.
There it is, breaking the TV as it normally does.
Here we go, and I do have full veto power.
Full veto power.
All right, so let's start with, wow, this is a thick one. That's what she said.
Oh.
All right. You know what? I'm going to, just because this one's music related and we just did a music one,
Fair enough.
but it will go back in. I'm going to grab a few here.
This is exhilarating.
That was a good one. Got a lot of music in here. One of them I just pulled was worst injuries. So that one is in the bucket.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we did that one without pulling it from the bucket.
Nope.
Keep them coming. All right.
Right.
Embarrassing tattoos.
All right, we'll do this one. I like this one, even though we talk about this a lot, I feel. Let's do top 3 pro wrestlers.
Okay.
Is that cool?
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Do you want to do a different one?
Let's do it. Let's get it out of the way so we never talk about pro wrestling again.
Okay.
I'm
You don't want to do it.
I'm more interested in yours.
Let's do a different one.
All right. We need topics. If you have topics, please send them in. sasaandgoff@gmail.com or just put it on our Instagram.
All right.
However you feel like getting them, we need topics. So
All right, we got a topic here, and it's funny because I'm throwing literally 8 back in. They're going to be right on top there.
Yeah.
You did talk about this the other week, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, talking about inclusion, my friend. We're doing top 90s hunks.
Okay. All right. Fair
A couple
enough.
weeks ago, we did our top 3 90s babes. This week, we're going to do our top 3 90s hunks.
All right. That one's going to take a lot of research. I don't know who hunks are. Okay. I got one. No. You're way older than the 90s, right?
I was alive in the 90s.
Okay, I guess that counts. Anyway, that's it for the show. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week when we talk about 90s hunks.
Later.